Hey there, and welcome to this week's episode of Becoming More Me, your podcast for ADHD entrepreneurs and professionals who want to enjoy their life and business through the lens of elevated consciousness and pleasure as fuel for your greatest successes. I'm your host, Teresa Lear-Levine. I am a mom of 4 boys, wife, EFT master practitioner, hypnotherapist, law of attraction coach, and energy strategist. And I look at it as my job to help you enjoy getting present on this never-ending journey of becoming. And this week is about reflection. It's going to be a bit of a personal episode as I reflect on the summer of 2024 and all the ways that it elevated my consciousness and propelled my next level success, because I know that that relates to you and the journey that you're on, as well as we consider things like the law of one. What's happening in me is happening in you, and these lessons can all be applied to whatever it is that you're going through. Plus, you might just find out about some things that would be fun to do on your adventures or next summer for you and your family, as we now are heading into the fall season. So when this episode airs, it will almost officially be the end of summer as a season. But as I'm recording it, it is almost the end of summer as the time that I get to have off with my children. For anyone who has not been in my ecosystem, I'm the mother of 4 boys. My oldest is 19, my youngest is 7, and this year we have a 2nd grader, a 5th grader, a 9th grader, and a sophomore in college. So there's always a lot going on simply on the family front. And of course, I'm a wife. I do my business, Becoming More Me, and work with my clients from home. So summer is always a big shift. That's when I have to start leaving notes out in the morning. Hey, moms with clients, these are the times of my appointments. If my door is shut, please be quiet. These are the activities you can do. These are the things that you can eat. Please take care of this chore. All those kind of things. And it's also a more flexible season. I'm a lot more mindful of how I schedule my day and the time that I'm available, the time when I'm going to call it a day and head to the pool with my kids. And there were also days this summer when I would take my laptop to the pool and take meetings while I watched them swim. And that was actually a lot of fun too, and gave me a lot less mom guilt than realizing that they are on the outside of the office door in our home and probably doing way too many things that are on electronic devices than I would like. But summer is also always an exercise in releasing my judgment, because childhood 40 years ago was a lot different than childhood in 2024. And as much as I would love for my kids to get outside and do more and socialize in the ways that I was used to socializing, so much of their socialization is electronic these days. And for better or worse, that's where they enjoy being and growing and communicating. And there is a lot of good that can come from that. So I try to put my focus there instead of those feelings that were probably programmed into me from parents who were just coming into that switch of kids who play outside all day versus kids who were playing. In my day, in the early 80s, it was the first Nintendo that came out and things along those lines, Atari, and always being told that, you gotta get outside, you're rotting your brain cells, this isn't healthy, all of that conditioning. And of course, there is truth to that. And also, some of it is just fearful conditioning. And I have had to examine my own judgment and my own conditioning a lot this summer when it comes to parenting, when it comes to being a wife, when it comes to being a practitioner who has a business that looks different in different seasons, all sorts of things. So this summer, just like any summer, was an eye-opener. And it started with my classic frustration around those things that I just mentioned, and revisiting my own coaching and looking at times when I have talked to my own hypnotherapist, my own life coaches, my own business coaches, sharing these frustrations of the inevitable shift that happens at the beginning of summer. And I made a decision early on this summer that I wasn't going to fall into that trap, at least not in the same ways I had before, that I was going to lean into my understanding of subconscious programming, my ability to nourish my nervous system, and I was going to show up differently. And sitting here at the end of summer, I feel like I made some really good improvements. And also, there's a long way to go. But I'm proud of the changes I was able to make and the ways I was able to show up for my kids this summer and the way that they grew. It's interesting because this morning, as my husband and I were getting ready to work out, we get up quite early, and in the summer months, our kids have stayed up very late, especially the older ones. I mean, we get up at the 4 o'clock hour, and there are times when my 14-year-old and my 19-year-old are going to bed in the 2 or 3 a.m. hour. So it's kind of this weird revolving door where people are waking up much later in the day than us, going to sleep much later. We wake up really early, we go to bed early, and we cross paths somewhere in between. But we were noticing, because they end up having a whole meal late at night, it seems, or multiple meals. This morning it was like, okay, they made an individual pizza, a full-size pizza. My son brought home pizza from his work. And then there were, cans of soda and empty bags of chips and all of the crap that they eat in the late hours. And I noticed I was able to reframe that and see how cool it is that brothers are just being brothers and eating junk and hanging out and bonding and probably playing some Nintendo Switch or Xbox or something together while they do it. And that in a matter of just a few days, my oldest will be back at college, the younger ones will be back to school. And while I could definitely judge and criticize and be upset with both the nutritional and food choices or the staying up super late and then not really being up as much during the day or what they're doing while we're sleeping, I just chose to see brothers enjoying each other and thinking how that's kind of how I would have enjoying my time when I was their age, and that I'm grateful that we're able to give that to them. And that I know during the times that I'm serving them food through the day, it is typically a lot healthier. They are getting what they need. They are growing. They are seemingly healthy. And I love it when they get along, because when you have 4 boys, there are plenty of moments when they don't. So just coming to accept that is something, because my husband and I can notice a lot of times when we're just judging, and that doesn't unify, and that doesn't elevate love, and it creates separateness, and it usually has absolutely nothing to do with the person that you're judging. So a lot of awareness was brought there through my kids this summer, and we had some really nice getaways, whether it was beach weekends. My family lives at the Delaware beaches, so we take a lot of weekends where we head out to Delaware and enjoy. My husband and I love getting up early and taking walks on the boardwalk, seeing the dolphins, seeing the sunrise, and going out for coffee or something afterwards. I also spent a lot of time this summer working on my health, because over the last few years, there has been this steady weight gain no matter what I do. There has been increased tiredness in the afternoon. There has been increased allergies and other kind of skin reactions and rashes. And I got to the point where I just felt like enough is enough. And these are such complex things that it seemed like no matter what I tried, it wasn't the right thing, or something different needed to be addressed. And I just didn't have all of the knowledge to manage my health journey the way it needed to be. So I got on board with a practitioner that I met at the retreat that I went to in May, Jason Prasad, and started working with him in July after we had been on our family vacation, and made some major dietary changes, started working with some homeopathic remedies, did things like gallbladder liver flush, and we're working with, bioresonance and blood work and all sorts of other testing. And I'm getting really interesting data about what is actually happening in my body that I couldn't otherwise understand with just seeing how my body was responding to things and trying to make adjustments, which is what I have been trying to do without getting the results that I want or the results that I used to get from doing similar things earlier in life. So also learned that my adrenals were just really, taxed. There's stress indicators that need to be addressed. And I know how to do these things. So that is hopeful. It just needs me to lean into it a little bit more. So health has been a big focus this summer. Family has been a big focus this summer. Working on my marriage, which is always a thing, Sometimes people hear that and they think, oh, there's problems. But I feel like a marriage is a portal to never-ending growth and so much joy and pleasure and support. And my husband and I have really been working on getting more intentional there. And it feels so good. It feels so good. So from the emotional to the physical aspects to the life management things and financial side of things, we have been really just leaning into things that we might otherwise have a lot of resistance to, meeting that resistance, bringing awareness to that resistance, and then breaking on through it. And that is essentially my own work that I do with clients in action. And it's so important to me to be able to say that I bring that to my everyday life, whether it's, parenting, marriage, business, time management. I hate that term, but it seems to be the one that people resonate with, and I haven't figured out a good replacement for it. But the productivity and the management of day-to-day life is a big area where nervous system regulation and subconscious mind work have benefited me tremendously. Those are areas where, I said, remember that episode from a few weeks ago where I dissected language? So I'm just going to cancel on that and go back, because I know, not you, what I was getting ready to say. And of course now, ADHD moment, I have forgotten what I was going to tell you that I know and frame as You got to go back and listen to that episode if you're like, what is she talking about? Because the way that we talk to ourselves, the way that we talk out loud, the way that we use words like I, me, you, self, so telling and so important to the responsibility that we are taking for our own outcomes and how we actually are feeling. It's fascinating stuff. So all that to say, it's super important for me to walk my talk. And that's kind of part of the reason for reflecting on summer and the ways that I have been challenged. For instance, the vacation that our family took to North Carolina in July is one that now, sitting at the end of August recording this, we all remember super fondly. We have great memories from it. We went ziplining. We went to, it feels like, every ice cream joint in the Asheville, North Carolina area. We did adventure courses. We went river rafting. We had amazing meals. We took hikes and went to waterfalls and sliding rock and had beautiful swims. We swam in the lake there at Lure Lake. We went to the water park there. We had just a beautiful, I think it was 5 days in Asheville, and did so many things that were so much fun and saw so many things that were beautiful and amazing. And also, it was rough. The kids were not getting along great, and it felt really low energy sometimes and really disappointing. And if you've ever been on family vacations, then you've probably experienced that feeling of, why do we even do this? Is it worth it? Maybe I should just go away with my husband and forget taking everybody else, and it would be so much more peaceful. And that was definitely a feeling that was present, especially as the days would come to an end, or as we were dealing with unexpected sunburn or hotel sleeping arrangements, or people who did or didn't want to do activities. It is so hard to please everyone when you have a family with 6 people. And yet we all remember it really fondly. Those are not going to be the things that we remember. And we also found opportunities to course correct. I leaned into a lot of nighttime Course in Miracle meditations and morning energy clearings. And whew, it's tough sometimes. And also it's an opportunity to grow. So we had a beautiful summer and so many cool things that we got to experience and do. And also we got a lot of things done around our home, little upgrades, little organizational projects that feel kind of big when you start putting them together. And I was really surprised at how much actual work, growth, and progress I was able to make in my business, with new clients coming in, with new systems being put into place. I began over the summer doing a workshop series where now every month I'm offering a free workshop. And that's something that takes a little time to implement systems around. So I'm sure you understand that if you're also a fellow coach or entrepreneur. There's been new automated email sequences that needed to be built. And of course, crafting a new workshop every month, advertising it, creating graphics, sending emails, all the things. And then I have been turning those things into amazing mini courses after the fact, as well as lots of content and ways to continue serving my community. So over the summer, I basically cultivated this entire practice that allows me to serve my community for a long period of time. And it's ongoing still. I created this amazing pleasure and flow mini course from the workshops I did over the summer that's available right now for free within my Becoming More Me community on School. And I'll use this opportunity to say that if you are not a member over there, definitely go join. There's a link in my bio where you can join. And you can also simply go to www.school, and that's skool.com/discovery, and type in my name, Teresa with an H, Theresa, Lear, Lear, Levine, Levine, and you will see the Becoming More Me community pop right up there on their discovery page. You can join right from there, or you can use the link in the show notes. Either way, I would love to welcome you over there. Our classroom has over $15,000 worth of resources. I offer free coaching in there every week, and there are so many amazing, like-minded ADHD entrepreneurs and professionals to bounce things off of, be accountable with, and receive support from, that I definitely want to welcome you over there. So head on over to School and join the Becoming More Me community, where you can also find that Pleasure and Flow mini course that I'm talking about, where I literally teach you how to use pleasure as fuel and how to infuse planning and organization with pleasure as well. And those can be huge transformers, huge catalysts for the transformation you're desiring, and also really helpful at reprogramming the hustle and strive mentality, the high achieving anxiety, high performance anxiety, and high functioning anxiety, and showing up in your world in a whole new way where you get to be propelled by pleasure and joy instead of stress, which so many of us have used as our fuel, and it only works for so long before the burnout kicks in. So check out that course, check out the community. I would love to see you there. And this summer, I was also really present to a new shift, a relaxed feeling that there's always time for everything that needs to be done. And time scarcity was something I had to do a lot of work around over the years, to now feel time spaciousness and to feel like, whether it's within the course of a 24-hour period, a week, a month, a season, that there's time for everything in each of those containers. And it's really cool. Summer has a flexibility to it that the school year doesn't have. And I do like knowing that on a regular school day, I have certain hours that are just my own. And also, kids get sick. There are plenty of weeks during the year when there are in-service days, half days, parent-teacher conferences, holidays, and disruptions to that flow as well. But wow, especially this last week, when I looked at the week and realized how much I had actually accomplished for my business while also enjoying afternoons at the pool, actually swimming with my kids, not those ones where I talked about taking meetings, and also those. And I also enjoyed a lot of rest because I had days where I felt tired and accepted that instead of the old me would have been, oh, I'll just, drink some caffeine, get myself pumped, push through, keep going. Really accepting and honoring my body feels tired, and it's okay that my body feels tired, and I'm going to rest. Or I'm just going to stop working a little earlier than I planned on and let my brain have the afternoon and evening off and simply enjoy being with my family, or laying down for a half an hour, or going out and getting dinner instead of making it, and just really honoring those little differences that add up to feeling rested and restored, and then allow me to lean into doing the work when the time feels right. Because I think old me used to think that every day had to have a certain amount of productivity in order for me to be worthy of whatever else. The problem is when you're a mom of four, when you're running businesses from home, when you have a never-ending to-do list, you can literally trap yourself in never earning the worthiness to take a break. And the truth of it is that we're always worthy. We're worthy without doing anything. And learning that and integrating that has been huge over the last 7 to 10 years for me, and really allows me to release the guilt that I used to feel when I would stop working so hard on whatever the goal was and just take a break. Now there is relaxation, pleasure, breaks built into everything, even when I'm working. And it feels so good. It feels so good. So anyway, I learned a lot of lessons this summer, and I feel like those lessons allow me to show up differently as I enter autumn, the school year, a new season in my business, and all of the ways that I'm looking to upgrade my life and business. And that's what makes the difference. What makes the difference, guys, is being able to peel back the layers. And this is something I applauded one of my clients for this morning, because my favorite clients are the ones that do this. And I have one that I'm working with right now, and I just love her awareness and her consciousness that every time we work on something, we remove a barrier, and then she lovingly sees the next thing we need to work on, the next area of her life that is calling for her loving awareness, her acceptance, forgiveness, healing, love. And it's so beautiful to watch that in action. And I know that's also what I demonstrate and what I show in my own life is, oh wow, let's celebrate this win. And also, now I see this opportunity. And that was what I was looking for in this episode, to show you through summer, through these new ways that I see things with my kids, the new ways I'm communicating with and relating with my husband, the ways that I was able to find time, energy, motivation to upgrade my business during a season when that normally feels difficult, and have it feel so easy and fun. And when I have clients like this one that I was referring to, which I have a lot of, but I'm super proud of and focused on this one because especially this week, we had a hypnotherapy session on Wednesday, and by Thursday, she was already sending me messages in our one-on-one chat, letting me know about the shifts that were already happening in her subconscious, how much more chill and relaxed she was feeling about the issue we were working on, and also the new things that had come into her consciousness because she had let go of the things that we worked on. And I just couldn't wait to message her back and celebrate her for her awareness and for leaning into the change that she desires, even when it's hard and even when she knows, okay, that means we have more work to do. We always have more work to do. But when we can greet that with the idea that the work's going to be fun, that we love the new person we're becoming that lays on the other side of it, all of that, that's what makes it so fun. And those are my favorite kind of clients to work with. The ones that just keep elevating their awareness and keep leaning into pleasure as fuel and unlearning the things that don't serve them and upgrading their inner child, their current self into possibility and fun and limitlessness. It's just so cool. So I feel like I tapped into new possibility, fun, and limitlessness this summer. I'm super excited and super pumped for fall. I have so many awesome ideas I want to bring to the forefront, so many new things I'm bringing into coaching, and that lights me up, guys. It really lights me up to be able to work with people in the way that I do and synthesize what I understand and what they desire into the transformation that ultimately makes it happen. So cool, so fun. So anyway, I know you have so many choices in what you listen to, and I know that this was rather personal this week. But as I said at the beginning, I do believe in the law of one, and I do believe that even though this might not be exactly what you're going through, that there are things here for you to relate to and tap into and use for the transformation that you're working on, putting together for your life. And I hope that it lifts you up. I hope that it gives you new perspective. And I'm here for you to help if I can in synthesizing that transformation. You can always reach out to me at gamechangingconversation.com and schedule a complimentary 15-minute insight call. Literally an opportunity for me to better understand your challenges and desires and to offer you some actionable steps that you can start implementing as soon as we have the call to begin creating that change. So it's an incredible opportunity. If you haven't yet met me on an insight call, then let's do it. Hop on my calendar and let's have that 15-minute chat that could really change some things and open up some new perspectives for you. I look forward to seeing you on my calendar and getting to meet you on Zoom. And thank you so much for listening to Becoming More Me. As we head into autumn, man, I'm rooting for you. And all of the pleasure and elevated consciousness that is going to take you to next level success and enjoyment of being present in your life. And if nobody's told you today, I love you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for spending some of your precious time with me today. If you loved this episode, please leave a review or simply share it with someone else who would get great benefit from it too. If you share on social media, please tag me so I can personally connect and thank you. Until next time, keep taking bold and brave steps towards becoming more of who you want to be in this world. You are capable, you are worthy, and you are enough. And if your inner critic is still trying to argue with those facts, hit me up. We've got work to do.